and welcome to yet another episode of the LARP Noobs podcast.
That's us.
It is us. It's me, Bungle. And that...
It's Millie.
Yeah.
That was the most convoluted. I'll be honest, dear listeners, it's a few days after we record our Friday episode, and it's the long weekend, and and I haven't really slept.
Oh dear.
So I might sound a little bit tired, but it's okay. We live, we stand.
Exactly.
It's
We'll do what we can.
Yeah, exactly. How are we doing, Bung?
I'm doing great.
Should we do a little recap of what happened on our Friday, just for the dear listeners?
Quick recap Friday. Craziness at Whispers for Otis's character.
Yeah.
A lot of fun RP witnessed. Obviously, I'm leaving the main detail to LARPs and TARPs, but just want to say it was a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah.
It was an amazing piece of RP going on right in front of my face, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Hats off to Chloe, Oily, and everyone who was there for it. Yeah.
All in all, a good evening of RP was had.
A wonderful evening of RP was had.
Yeah, and a little bit of merriment and some wonderful scavenger hunts in the wood for me.
Yeah. Obviously also touched on the controversy of Navarre being very pissed off about military council.
Oh, yeah.
And all the various things that were said could possibly be done by Navarre to voice our anger at the fact we are just leaving Thurunin, Navarre's third territory, just to be abandoned by the Empire. I mean, we don't bring in any wealth to the Empire. Navarre is traditionally the poor nation.
Is it actually?
Basically, we own one national boar seat, which we no longer hold because it's in Thurunin. All of the boar seats that are in Navarre territories are ones that are auctioned off.
Yeah.
And are not held by a single Navarre.
Oh.
They're held by either syndicates or people from other nations.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't have much in the way of resources coming in, so
I
think why we feel a lot of our times our territories are what you're bringing into us.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's a massive economic crisis in the Empire at the moment, isn't there, Bung?
There is a massive one. There is not enough money. The Imperial was looking at my downtime stuff today, in fact, and I was like, let's have a look at the Imperial Gurden, which is normally 250 thrones.
Oh, is it actually?
This summit.
Oh, no.
The Gurden's down to 150 thrones.
Oh, yeah. It upsets me greatly. But to be honest, I didn't really get into LARP to talk about economics, so should we talk about battles instead?
Okay. I didn't take the field this summit.
Yeah.
Neither did Talis. The two of us were both feeling our ages and decided to not take the field this summit. But we did... go along to the muster, sort of stood to the side with everyone who was mustering up, and also walked alongside Navarre down to the gate.
Nice. We're talking Saturday, by the way, in case anybody is
sorry,
deeply
this is Saturday.
confused.
I do apologies. I'm just going straight into what happened on Saturday.
Yeah. That's fair.
And the way Navarre decided, rather than us not taking the field because that would be a failure on us to the Empire, we are subjects of the Empire. We are loyal, so we'll go where we need to go. But to show our displeasure, as you can attest, and anyone who's been to Anvil, I mean, majority of nations, when they're marching to the gate, will be singing or chanting. Navarre always will be singing to the gate, usually as Thorn, or one of our war cadences. Navarre marched to the gate in complete and utter silence.
Woof.
No drums, no pipes being played by Otter Bob.
Really?
Nothing. Literally complete silence, just marched to the gate and then queued up.
Wow. That's woof.
So that was our protest, was basically a silent movement to the gate, and we did what we were told to do, but we didn't do any of our usual war cadence on the way down.
Oh, that's so cool.
So yeah, it was really quite impressive to see the fact that obviously you got that many people. It was just like, and them just moving, and all you could hear was the footsteps. It's
that
very
must have been
jarring.
quite cool, though.
Yeah, when you're used to like the belting out of as Fawn, Navari fight as Thorn, it's quite eerie. So hopefully the message was received, but we'll find out at E2.
Do you remember what the objectives of the battle were?
I'm trying to remember. It was against the Grendel Salt Lords.
The Children of the Wrecked, or the
That's one, Children of the Wrecks. Can't remember what the exact. I think there was Navarre's objective was to get hold of at least 3 out of 5 enchanted ship timbers.
Yeah, the woods.
In the woods, and also there were several traitors to the Empire. So people who were originally Imperial citizens but were now traitors.
Were they marchers? I can't remember.
There was various different nations. So we had like a Navari, we had and various other things. I think they got a few of them, but the Navari one was able to get through our lines and towards our healers, apparently, from what I hear.
Oh yeah,
they were killed and removed, shall we say?
Yeah, it was a very interesting battle. So I was as a Leaguish citizen. I was monstering today on Saturday. I know, and it's always really funny when you go to Monster, especially because I was so used to going a particular route up to God to Monster, but I have a new walking route now.
Yeah, because you're not coming out of the woods.
No, I know, it's weird. So went to go Monster, had a lovely time. I was going with Soph, who is a new player in not a new player, but someone in Wintermark, and with Chris, who's a member of the Crimson Reapers, and we were all kind of mustering together, having a lovely time. Anyone that has ever been monstering with me knows the game, that you monster, and then you get yourself some breakfast burritos or milkshakes along the way back. I was a little bit hungry already, I'll be honest, and I was sort of very keen for the battle to be over. And it was really interesting. So they did monstering briefing a little bit differently. Normally they do. So I kind of go low comm, just because I don't like frontline fighting in the Empire system, because it's just a bit too crowded for me, and especially when you've got loads of people in Clank and I've got no armor, it's not much fun. It is fun dying and then coming back and doing it again, but when I got kicked in the head a few times, so I'm just like, no, thank you, not for me.
No.
So normally they do low comm briefings by the big marquee where you go and pick up your polyplate. But this time they were doing regular briefing first, so all of the monsters go through regular briefing, and then they were doing a low comm briefing just by the edges of the woods in the big field. So it was a bit slower this time, and I was just watching all of the people that I was monstering with just going off into the distance, because they were fighting 2 armies on 2 fronts. So there was a battle in the deep woods, and then like right at the back, and then there was one in the open field. I don't know who made that decision, but why not split up your Empire's armies into 2 for the 2 days, and then into 2 again, so you've got a quarter of the strength.
Exactly. Why try and smash everything with full force? That's that's not whole-arse it, that's half-arse everything.
So anyway, we get through briefing, it's all very exciting, and then they go, okay, cool, so Millie, you're going off into the woods, and I was like, excellent, that's where all my friends are gone. And I got in through mid-gate, and I could not see anyone. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, keep on walking. And then I keep on walking. And then still walking, Bung, still going, right to the edge of sight, like, where that really brambly bit is, right at the back of the woods.
Yeah.
So that was our spawn.
Oh, nice.
And I was just there like, oh, cool. And because the low comm brief had taken a bit longer, I didn't really know what was going on in the battlefield until I accidentally stood on the enchanted. It wasn't enchanted, but on the magical wood that. Yeah. So I didn't know about it until I saw the duct taped yellow ribbon that was attached to it. But yeah, so we had that, and there were Siaka heralds, which was really cool. It was actually fun being on the other side of the Siaka heralds for once, rather than being on.
I'm sure it's nice to see them actually doing the work for you rather than slaughtering people around you.
Yeah, I think they had a little bit of Gellert still stuck in their teeth, to be honest.
Well, possibly.
Yeah. So.
And then his Leaguish character as well.
Oh yeah. Oh man. But yeah, so that was fun. And after a little bit, we spawned in, had a little bit of mischief in the woods. We got absolutely ruffle stomped in that woods. So we kind of marched forward and then got pushed back and back and back. And I'll be honest, there were times where we were being forced into like single human paths and things that were sort of surrounded by brambles, and then there was a whole Imperial line just kind of like pushing them into it.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, and I was like, this isn't necessarily for me. I'm just going to put my hand up and run away for a little bit.
Why not?
Yeah, and I will be eternally grateful for Chris, because I was like, I don't really feel like up to it, but he was like, no, come on, let's keep going. So finished the battle in the woods. I think the Imperials were doing quite well.
I think at least the Navari things were successful, I think.
Oh, that's good.
I think they managed to get 3 of the planks.
Good. So yeah, and then we were in the big field. One of my favourite things about monstering, especially when you're in the big field, is that you can find little groups of Imperials and sneak up on them, and then just go as soon as they turn their backs and like sort of do Blaze of Glory charges at the front lines, which is really fun. So I got myself, Chris, and Soph doing those. Did a few of those. Had a lovely time. Got absolutely ruffle stomped. Killed many times. I think there was a poor Dornish person that I came and like I did one of those running jumps and sort of like sliced them across the back, and and they just leant over my dead body and just went, that scared the living shit out of me, and I was like, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And then went to get burritos and a coffee and banana milkshake and had a lovely morning.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah, because I Bung, had a lunch date with a very good-looking Navari.
Fancy.
Yeah. It was a long-awaited cheese and wine date for Claudia and Captain Keelia. Notorious PR agent, Alice Ash.
Yeah. Also the same as for Rowan, the senator for Herkinia.
Really? Are they there?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They are also their PR agent.
Oh my god, and running the Nabar as well.
Yep, which I actually really do quite like the new Nabar. It's very I'm still trying to nag them to get the picture of Gellert up.
But yes, I had a lovely little cheese and crackers and strawberry time, and had a nice little catch up.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's good because I think you always forget to actually sit down and sort of look after yourself in Empire when you're sort of running around trying to get everything done.
Yeah, it's I've definitely found as I've no longer doing the senator stuff or anything like that with the new character, it's so refreshing to be able to take a moment to sit down and not have to worry about, is someone going to come up and drag me off to go do something? Am I actually going to be able to have this time to relax? Because a lot of the times when I was proxy, Dave was on the battlefield, and occasionally it would be them. Obviously, after going to the battle, I know I do it as well. I'll go have a nap afterwards sometimes.
Yeah.
So I would be on the battlefield. I wasn't taking the battlefield, so I was always available to do proxy work during that. And obviously, if Dave was having his post-battle nap, I was also sort of running around, either trying to find other senators, going to the hub to do various things.
Yeah.
Giving away Dave's second occasionally.
Oh my god, yeah, that was so funny.
So making occasional decisions. It was quite fun.
The senator's currently in another meeting.
Yeah.
It was an excuse that we heard a lot.
Is currently indisposed.
Yep.
How can I help?
Having his nighty time.
Yeah. While you were battling, me and Talis went off for breakfast.
Oh yeah. What did you get?
Went to the Smoky Hole and had their ultimate breakfast bap.
Oh my god, I've never had their breakfast baps before.
It's so
good. Other food vendors are available, but so good.
And also went to the milkshake place as well and got a double espresso milkshake.
They're so good.
I was just like, it was also, I felt a little bit sneaky because it was a great way of getting my coffee and jumping the coffee queue by going to the milkshake queue, which was much shorter.
Yeah, it's much shorter in the morning, isn't it?
Yeah. So I had that for my breakfast, and yeah, we actually sat in the OC bit and just sat and chat for the majority of the time of the battle.
Yeah, it's nice to have a good little catch up.
Yeah.
But anyway, listen to the Lot News podcast for all of your food recommendations on field.
Yep.
Did you get up to anything after about lunchtime on Saturday?
I was obviously chilling as I usually do at the Dreadshields camp. And they unfortunately lost one again this event.
Oh man.
Rowan, who's was the other changeling, played by Dylan. He was got by Siaka Heralds.
Woof.
Yes.
Oh man.
Possibly doomed by a certain member of LARPs and TARP, who may or may not be leaguish.
Oh, I know. He felt so guilty about that. Bless him.
Yeah. But it happens.
Yeah.
So people are going to go down. Like, I know who did the crossbow bolt to my chest that ended keys. It's like, you're monstering. It's what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm fodder. I'm Imperial. You're a barbarian.
It was really cool to watch people's deaths though on the battlefield. Like it's a weird thing to say, but especially with Siaka Heralds because of the way that they kill.
Just
yeah, because there was a couple of times when we were monstering where there was one Imperial that was down in the woods, and I was walking through. We were just respawning, and so we respawned in, and then there was a Siaka Herald that kind of went up to that Imperial and just started like beginning to chow down, and then they did. What did they do? Did they do an unstoppable where it gets you up?
Yes, I'm unstoppable. With 5 seconds of roleplay, you can get back up.
Yeah.
And if you're completely downed, it will giving you back to, I think, 3 hit points.
Is it? What does Relentless do? Or is it?
I think Relentless allows you to. Again, your manage my vary. I may be very wrong with this. I think Relentless is the one where it allows you to repair a cleaved limb.
So Relentless restores 3 hits, and then Unstoppable. Oh no, Unstoppable does that, and then Relentless is when you can repair a cleave or an impaled. So you were right. Nice. Yay. There we go.
Sweet. My memory isn't as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah. So basically, what this Imperial did was they were waiting. They waited. They then did the I am unstoppable. And did this really cool thing, and then I think they then cleaved the Siaka Herald and just sprinted away. And I was like,
why not?
I was like, credit
do
to you,
damage,
man.
Then just cheese it. Yeah. Just get out of there.
Absolutely wonderful. Have an amazing time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was fun. Had my little lunch date with Keelia, and then my dear Bungle, I've succumbed to the post-afternoon nap.
Oh.
And
that's fine. Let's say, if you're taking the field, sometimes just having that little nap in the afternoon.
Yeah. It was hot as well.
It was very warm.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously in the woods, we were a bit cooler.
You bastard.
In both ways. Yeah.
Shush you. I did miss the Navari woods for this exact reason. I was like, oh my God, my tent is so hot. This is not nice. For what I wouldn't do for a tree. But yeah, so that was fun. But I had a couple of hours nap, and then I came back ready and raring to go.
See, so like I say, we had Rowan dead, so there was the Dreadshields did a funeral for him in the corpse glade.
Oh.
There was also then standing was done.
Yeah.
And Fawn's Council, which, even though I'm not a Fawn, I attended because obviously Caro Shield.
Yeah.
Huzzah. So the night before, I'd handed the shield over to the Entwine Paths to perform the Hammer's Timeless Rhythm, to be able to have an artisan forge it overnight, reforge the weapon rather than forge a new shield.
Yeah.
So they do that. I got the shield back in the morning. And I did the announcement at Fawn's Council showing the shield. And, as if by sheer luck, because obviously I'm trying to find a courage priest to get it hallowed.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the person I'd used previously, who was in Embercast, their character was killed last summit.
Owie.
Yeah, so I had no courage priest.
Yeah.
And I just happened to mention that at the end of Thorn's Council. And I think is it Ian, who used to be the Blackthorn's general after Caro. Oh, no, he was Azalea's dancer, I think.
Wasn't it?
Ian, he used to do national training. Then
I could have sworn it was Rizard that got the generalship for.
Oh, Rizard got Blackthorns, but Eon had one of the armies for a while.
I can't remember. Generalship does not appeal to me at all in the slightest.
Yeah, but turns out he's actually a courage priest.
Oh, really?
So I sort of spoke to him about the shield, obviously, and how and why we want it hallowed, and actually had him do a ceremony there and then, where part of his ceremony is anointing the thing with his own blood, and he has a tradition with his sword has the blood of every thorn.
Oh, wow.
Which had Caro's blood
to
it. So he did that, and obviously did it as if he's empowering it with the blood of all the other thorns, including Caro himself.
Wow, that must have been amazing to watch.
So it was wonderful RP. Had that done, and yay, the shield is now all sorted.
Yay!
And at the moment it's sitting in my spare room currently, and it will be going to a new fawn at the start of E2.
Nice.
And the decision usually would be done by discussions with the Voice of Fawns, which is currently actually Rook from the Dread Shields. But there is I can never remember the character's name. I do apologise. But Navarre has a new part of the military group. So we obviously had the Dread Shields. You've got the Embercast. You've got Black Scar. All these various different banners that take the field.
Yeah.
There's a new one that's called Driftwood.
Oh.
Which is majority new players who not necessarily part of a large group. And basically gets them together and has them fighting as a unit.
That's cool.
Rather than having, because obviously we still have like the main Empire blob, the main Navari blob, but having an additional one of people who want to fight as a sort of cohesive unit, but don't have a group, aren't part of a large Thornborn. So it's another thing, and I've spoken with the person who runs that group, and he's going to be choosing one of his fawns out of that group.
That's really cute.
To receive the shield. So we'll be doing that announcement at Thorn's Council at E2 on the Friday night. So awesome. That's all going ahead.
Oh man, well done. That's so exciting.
So that was then my Saturday afternoon was sort of getting ready for the evening's fun. Because Murdoch.
Oh no.
Well, he's marrying Julia over in the league next summit at E2.
Senator Asavos.
So
this
summit
no. Yeah, carry on.
Was his stag do. And also Julia's hen do was going on at the same time. We kept bumping into the groups. So it was quite fun with that. But before that happened, Rook had arranged a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
So we end up splitting up into several groups. I ended up going in a group with Murdoch, Cricket, myself, and I'm trying to remember who else it was. Oh, my mind is so blank. Might have been Red, but I'm not sure. But the list of the stuff on the scavenger hunt was a potato, largest one wins.
My God.
An egg. Hat, tallest hat wins. One of Nishi's boots.
Oh my God, of course it is.
Yep. 2 different menus from around the Empire.
Okay.
And then, there's a few other things on there as well, which were, there's a hardback book was one of them. And I'm trying to remember some of the other ones.
There was a tuft of orcish hair.
Oh, a tuft of orc hair, yes.
My God.
So, obviously, everyone else, as soon as they get these lists, has sprinted off.
Yeah.
Murdoch's still getting dressed.
Of course
so
he
waiting
is.
for him to finish getting dressed. And it's like, so how long, we've got half an hour. It's like, no, you guys have got 25 minutes because you took so long to get ready. It's like, what? I thought we were starting till I was ready. It's like, nope. So we just head straight for the jackdaws to get Nishi's boots.
Yeah.
He's sitting there, no boots on.
Oh, no.
Somebody's already nabbed them. Turns out, though, Bear, or Alex, had got one of the boots, and then paid him to hide the boots in his tent. After he'd taken it, brought it back, and said, right, you're hiding them now. But we ended up paying Nishi for the boots. So we got one of his boots. And rather than everyone else who was getting the items, taking them back to be counted, and then carrying on their hunt, we just ended up just carrying all our stuff around Empire with all this stuff. We raided the entire Hens theatre bar for the majority of the stuff. So we took Nietzsche's big hat.
Amazing.
We stole 2 of their different menus from the bar.
God.
They had a painting of a hen on the bar, which was another one of the items, so we took the painting. And yeah, we gave money for it all. We paid for it, and we all did return it at the end of the scavenger hunt.
I did hear that there was a group of scavenging Navari coming around.
Yeah. And Nietzsche's very, very lovely. I was like, I need that boot back in 5 minutes because I have a meeting to go to. So we're like, yeah, we'll have it back to you in 5 minutes. So about 15, 20 minutes later, we finished the scavenger hunt, and I'm walking back over with all the stuff for the Jackdaws bar. Return all the stuff, and they go, oh, is Nietzsche here? I've got his boot. Oh, he's up at the Crimson Reapers for the meeting. Go up there. It's not a meeting.
What is it?
It was the late Prince's wake.
Bungle!
And Nietzsche standing outside with one boot on.
No!
And I walk up with this huge smile on my face. There's Crimson Reapers outside, all looking very stern.
Yeah.
Obviously, their late prince was killed by a Navari. They don't know I'm also an Ashbourne in the same striding as that Navari.
No!
But I walk up and just go, Navari clothes dirtying service. Make your friends think you've been on the adventure. And then just chucked the boot at Nietzsche and walked off.
Oh my God, Bung!
Obviously, then we all found out it was the wake. I was like, oh.
Oh
but,
no.
Hey,
that must have been so funny, though.
It was so funny. Just like that. And then literally just he chuck of the boot as I'm walking past, not even stopping to give it to him.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Because because I'd had my nap. And I was sort of just waking up again and being supplied with various different caffeinated beverages of various different sugar contents, and I saw Murdoch running past, and I was like, Murdoch, what the hell is a Navari doing here, running around asking for things? And Murdoch came up to me and was like, Claudia, I need your help. And I was like, sure, what do you need? And he was like, I'm doing the scavenger hunt for my stag do. I was like, okay, excellent, wonderful. What do you need? Time is money. Come on now, hurry up. And he went, a tuft of orc hair. And I was like, all right then, come on then, follow me. Because I had a favour from a certain senator to, I think, Scarson, although I'm not sure if they still are. But so we went, marching down towards the orc camp, which honestly is my favourite place in the whole of Anvil. It's just so nice and chill in there.
Yeah.
And my favourite night was when Agni died. Definitely not because of reasons that were previously just spoken about 5 minutes ago. When I was my Reaper for a day, when I was Cruella, I sat in the orc camp with my friend Harvey, who is a pride priest from the Basque Coast. And we had this amazing philosophical debate while we were around the fire, and it was just really nice. So the orcish camp is amazing, and the vibes are impeccable.
Yeah, I don't spend enough time in there, to be honest. I need to go in the orc camp a lot more.
It's so good. And it was my favourite thing. I was like, is the Senator for Scarson around? And they were like, no, I don't know where they are. And we were like, okay, this is going to sound weird. And I don't want you guys to stab us, but do you need a haircut? And it's quite difficult, right? Because orc masks OC, you can't just cut the hair.
No.
The hair's not going to grow back. And a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into their various different styling. So I was a bit like, oh God, they're just going to say no, F off completely. And then is it Grud, the egregore? just walks past at the same time. And this poor orcish, I could only assume player, just goes, "Oi, Grad, give him your hair." And he just literally goes, "All right," and then yanks out a load of his hair from his wig. And we're like, effing love you. And then it popped into my head that Grud had given me a Doom card just before I went on the battlefield the year that Alex had died, that that the year Otis died. So it was like, oh God. But yeah, so that was fun. And then off Murdoch ran, as I then started meandering myself around Wintermark and Dawn, because I'm in that weird limbo bit, right, where I actively don't want to join the Crimson Reapers, not because they're not amazing. I just won't look good in red and black. That's it's not my color scheme. Teal and gold until the day I die. And so also Claudia never knew the prince, and it would be a bit more of an OC reason for Millie to go to the wake. So I was like, I don't really want to do that. I'm going to leave it to the players that were actively involved, and they can have a lovely time with it. So I went around places that I'd never been before in Anvil. So I went to Wintermark. Got to see this amazing fighting pit thing that they'd had with Fies, who's also an Embercast now. Amazing human being. Goes to Northern Kingdoms with us a lot. Was crew member of the year, nominated for a LARP award. Brilliant human being and incredible. I'm going to say Hema, but I don't think it is. But incredible sort of medieval fencer skill extraordinaire. And I saw them fight. And I saw a few of my other friends fight in Wintermark, and it was amazing. Like they had the music going. They had just incredible vibes. It was so good.
Cool.
And I went and I did some trading for the first time in my life.
How did you find it?
It's easy when you've got money.
Yeah, trading's easy when you've got the cash to do it.
Yeah, it's great. I managed to buy myself some ambergelt because I had some people who had a need for some. Got myself some.
I wish you'd known that.
Why? How much have you got?
10.
Oh, I needed 32.
Well, I have 10 and was not able to sell any on the field at all.
Oh, really?
No one. It was one of those things that none of the traders wanted to buy.
Yeah, a lot of people had it, to be fair.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's used for only a handful of things.
Yeah.
So it's not often called upon.
Yeah.
Like I say, having 10 of it, it's just like, I could keep hold of it for the Oakenheart Shield for next year, but I kind of want to liquidate a little bit.
Well, going back to our financial discussion, it's a massive liquidification issue at the Empire at the moment. No one's getting rid of stuff.
No.
So I go and buy some resources, have a lovely time, and then I mosey on over to Dawn, because I hear that there is a certain trial going on in Dawn that evening, which is about all of the military leaders who sent Imperial armies into was it Griffin's Pride? I can't remember, where they went to the Raven.
Yes, into the Barrens. The general of the Griffin's Pride sent his army into the Barrens to attack the Raven.
Yeah. So they'd done that, but the Raven had just been afforded Imperial citizenship, or not. So they'd been afforded the same rights as Imperial citizens just before the general sent the armies in. And so every person, every sort of military leader who had supported that army was on trial. So it was amazing to watch this. And I was like, I'm not gonna miss this. It's gonna be amazing. Once in a lifetime thing. So went down there and turned up a little bit early and saw there's a Dawn the way that they do remembrance is by they list the names of all that died, which after the Sweetglade massacre was quite a long list.
Yes.
It took them a while, and bless them, there were some players there that were dying a little bit in the heat. Bless them. So yeah, they were reading out these names, and then I was sort of just meandering around, moseying around. And then they do this really strange thing in Dawn. I say it's really strange. It's not. It's quite cool. Where they dress up in the kit of the dead person, like in the armor of the dead person, or impersonate that person, and they tell the story of how either that how they die or a glorious story of their like lives. So I got to watch some really funny ones. There was a defrost one. Some people from Goldvein were there, including my friend V and her new character, which was really fun. And then the trial began.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bum. And it was really cool watching the militia getting this amazing load of game. Because they had to like lock down Dawn basically to stop this general from escaping and things like that. I think there were 6 people on trial, if I remember correctly. There's a lot of people on trial, so it did take a while. My friend Niall, who is also, I can't remember what their group is called, but they're kind of a sort of sister group to ours within the league, the Golden Thread. They're in the sort of formerly the Withering Gaze. And so they're kind of like, they're vigilance priests that are kind of like vigilante vigilance priests.
Okay.
They're really cool, and I love their characters so much. And they've got a color scheme, so who doesn't love a good color scheme? And I got to watch some of the most amazing like trial role play and just diplomatic arguments and clemency pleas and all of this stuff, and it was so cool. There was my prince Monty was in the crowd because the Crimson Reapers were contracted to protect one of the Imperial Orcs this year. And said Imperial Orc had claimed that there were assassination attempts against them. So Monty and a few other Crimson Reapers were on high alert because of this huge crowd, and there was this Imperial Orc in the front just like taunting everybody and inviting violence, and we were like,
wow.
And you could see like James just go, oh God, please, I hope this I really want this to happen, but I really also don't want it to happen. So yeah, that was fun. They went off to go get steaks, so then I was in charge of defending them for a while. It was so cool. I felt so badass, man. And it was just amazing. And at the end of the trial, there was a Wintermark person who tried to run away during the deliberation. And so they got beaten up by the militia for trying to escape. Then because they tried to escape, the clemency plea was then declared by the priest that gave it. It was declared void. So then they then withdrew their plea.
Oh dear.
And then the judges, the magistrates delivered their verdict, and they were saying like this amazing thing of the fact that the clemency pleas worked. They were very good clemency pleas. However, they are not enough to negate the murder of all of these people that had the same rights as imperial citizens.
Yeah.
So everybody was sentenced to death.
Ow.
Yeah, right? So by execution. And it was amazing to watch because you saw, they said those of you who have been sentenced to death, you have the opportunity to go on tomorrow's battlefield under a banner that unites you all, and you can choose to die by the battlefield.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And if you do not die on the battlefield, you will subsequently be executed on your return to Anvil. And it was like, oh my God, it was so cool.
One last hurrah, basically.
Yeah, one last hurrah, but then also a way of subjecting your character to the knowledge that you will be going onto the battlefield as your military did, as you subjected the Raven to. Like this whole thing, the poetic justice was rife in Dawn, my dear Bungle. It was rife. It was really cool to watch. And then they all dispersed, and it was amazing to watch. Oh, actually, I tell a lie. There were two, maybe three that opted to just get executed then and there on the spot.
Wow.
Including the Wintermark person who had just been bleeding out because they'd been beaten up by the militia anyway.
Yeah.
They may or may not have declared some sort of heretical nonsense while they were dying.
Ooh.
Interesting. The magistrate wasn't having any of it. Oh, I know, ridiculous. And then I think it was a marcher who then got executed as well. There was a couple of people in the crowd that were like, this isn't justice. This is murdering somebody else for murder's sake is just murder. And it was so cool to be part of. I was like, oh my God, so fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was a Saturday night on the winter solstice, Bung. So what does that mean in the league?
Oh, that means the Reaper's out about.
Yeah.
Which I was far away from, because while you were off watching all this amazing stuff going on, we were out celebrating Murdoch's last summit of being a unmarried Navari.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a proper old school booze cruise.
Wow. Where did you go?
We started at Nabar.
Nice.
Had a drink there. Then on to Drunken Goose.
Mm-hmm.
Another drink there.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Horny Horse for shots.
Where's the Horny Horse?
You know the path on the walk in from the field towards Songs and Stories in the bar?
Yeah.
As you're walking towards Songs and Stories, there's a little bar on the left-hand side, and they just do amazing shots, one of which is made with chorus fruit.
Oh my God.
Oh, chaos fruit even.
Oh,
Not chorus
no.
fruit. That's
I was about to say.
That's a computer game.
Yeah. so made with chaos fruit. Jeez.
Yeah, so it made us all very giggly and childish.
Yeah.
For quite some time. We then moved out of Navarre, and I'm trying to think, where did we end up going? I think we hit up probably the Marches, I think. Or I'm trying to remember now. We had a lot of libations that evening.
Mm.
We definitely ended up in Star Bar for a bit.
Yeah.
Sadly, the chips were no longer on.
I think they ran out pretty quick. They were just too popular.
One of the ongoing things of the night was every time we saw Julia, we were shouting, "Where's our money? Where's the dowry for Murdoch?"
Oh my God.
So that was going on. But then while at the Star Bar, earlier in the day, Gwydion had the pleasure of meeting Darius.
Oh, was Darius there?
Yep, Darius was at this event, his usual place over in the Brass Coast.
Aww.
And I'd obviously mentioned that about my brother had mentioned him in a letter and saying I should speak to him.
Yeah.
And sort of, had a bit of a lovely chat. Got up with him both OC and IC sort of earlier in the day. And found out that obviously E1, what does Darius get up to in the evening sometimes?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately they had forgotten their library, but they managed to borrow some smut.
Yeah.
So, just before 11 o'clock, we're in the Star Bar, we're in the Brass Coast, and me and Ian are like, we're going to go to Darius's for the smut.
Nice.
So this is Gwydion's first experience of a smut reading. It was wonderful to see. Turned out the main smut that he was reading, that he'd borrowed, was a piece that was commissioned by the Entwine Paths.
Oh dear.
Yeah, involving characters that obviously Gwithian doesn't know, but I know.
Oh my
see.
God.
So, a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
Hilarious all the same. Sitting next to Talis during any sort of reading like this is always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Because he is switched on to the nines for this stuff. And it is absolutely beautiful. So yeah, we're there for the reading until quite late in the evening.
Yeah.
And then we think when I'd left the Star Bar, Ollie was like, "Oh, we'll be in the marches. We'll come meet us over there after you've done this." So we go into some of the marches bars. No one to be seen. So we end up going, not to Gin Club, but in Urizen.
Oh no!
There is the Gin Courtyard. The non-invitation only gin bar.
Yeah.
So anyone can go in.
Yeah.
And enjoy gin and have a chat with people.
That's so cool.
And I thought, I'll have some cherry gin, thinking it's just going to be like a measure of gin topped up with tonic. Nope, this was basically I had half a pint of cherry gin.
Oh my God, Bungle, are you okay?
Yeah, my Sunday was very uneventful. Let's put it that way. Yeah, so having this sitting there, then I end up going, I'm going to head back now. I'm trying to remember if I think Talis stayed out for a bit longer.
Of course he does.
But it was lovely to have a night bimble to see what he gets up to.
Yeah.
And
to go the places that boy goes. Oh my God.
Yeah. Where he went after that, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I headed back to the the campsites, so with the Ashbourne, a few of the Dreadfuls still up, so I sat and chilled out with them. Unfortunately, on the way back, I did swing by Senate Dance Club to see if the stag do was in there. Found the hen party.
Oh no!
Stag nowhere to be seen.
My evening was actually it was amazing. So I get back to the league, and because this is about probably around 7ish. So the evening of the Reaper started at 6. So I missed the ritual that brings the Reaper into the league. I missed the march around the procession of the Reaper. But it was really cool walking into the league and just putting on a mask as if it was second nature, because I've never done it before at all. And I had this really cool, it's like a lacy one that's like petrol blue, so it matches my costume. I felt really put together. Get to see Stephen, who's Goldie from the Golden Chalice, and have a nice little chat with him. Nice little catch up, and sort of head on down to the Reaper's camp. I do get berated for missing the Prince's wake. And I was like, I don't give a shit about someone who I never knew. Why the fuck would I go? Yeah. So that was fun. And then obviously Monty is the Prince of my Carter. So I then stick to him, and he's doing Reaper Watch. So it's where you have a group of the Crimson Reapers sort of just marching through the league or Anvil, sort of professing, make way for the Reaper, cover your faces, and like doing all of this stuff, which is really, it's actually being part of the group and you're watching, and I was at the front of the group and watching everybody just turn away, and like the new players get absolutely terrified.
Oh, bless
and
them.
like there were some people there who were just like in bars, just like putting their heads down and going like, oh God, don't look at me, don't kill me, don't kill me. Really fun. And we headed up to the Hall of Worlds, which I've never really gone into the Hall of Worlds during time in unless it's for Ephesus scales. Like negotiations, which is always a bit quiet in there anyway. But it was, I think it was Conclave, and they were talking to one of the Eternals, who had been brought forth. I think it was one of the Autumn Eternals, but I'm not too sure. No, Winter. Because well, firstly, it was just a generic meeting. So there were loads of Imperials and people who had the chance to meet with various different heralds of that Eternal to then talk about issues that the Empire has and to like barter deals and things like that. Very important. Really cool to watch. Really cool to be part of. And then the Crimson Reapers were performing. I think it was like something called the Basalt Fort. Oh no, I'm going to find this out.
No, but you have just jogged my memory of something else that happened during the day on Saturday.
Oh, give me 2 seconds. I'll finish this ritual.
Yep.
And then we'll be all done. But it was, there we go. Was it I think it's called the Basalt Citadel, which is so I think it's called that. And it is a winter ritual, and it's never been cast in living history of the Empire. Never.
Ooh.
And it basically causes a monolithic citadel of black basalt to be brought up out of the ruins of a place, basically. So it's a way of making a fortification out of nothing. And nobody's ever cast it because they've been scared of facing the wrath of this Eternal. So they then had permission from that Eternal to cast it with their blessing. So then I got to watch this amazing ritual be cast in front of the Reaper as well. Because they brought the Reaper in to add is it magnitude? To add a lot of magnitude to like lots and lots of mana.
It'd be a high mag ritual.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so that was fun. What was your thing, Bung?
So, talking of heralds, while walking around Navarre with a bunch of the Dreadshields, a group of day heralds wander in.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they basically start asking us questions. And the thing that ticks off in my mind is, if I'm in Navarre and a herald or an Eternal comes up, what do? I go find a Vate, because I don't know what I'm doing with them. It's very much, it's a magical Vate thing. So while a few of the Dreads were chatting to them, I just like wander up to the bar, not bar, but the market area, and go to one of the sellers there and go, so, what would be the done thing if a couple of day heralds have just wandered up to us and started asking us questions? And they're like, I'd probably say find a Vate. Okay. Any of you guys a Vate?
Oh my god.
So end up getting a couple of Vates down to come talk to these day heralds who just basically, they want to witness things that are going on. I can't remember who their herald's for. But yeah, they were just wanting to watch how things are done.
That's cool.
And it also happened to be at the same time that some of the national training stuff was going on in the Black Camp. So we ended up just like, you want to see how we fight? There you go. That's some of the stuff that they're doing over there. And then, I just ended up leaving that to the Vates because my character has nothing to do with the magical realms. I don't know what's going on there. My character doesn't understand what's going on there. I mean, OC I've had very little understanding because I've never done the magic game.
Yeah.
Maybe a future character might. And then I will actually understand more what's going on there. But as it stands, IC-wise, my character has no reason to want to know, or need to know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it was quite interesting to actually have heralds wander up to us. So it was one of the few times except for when doing stuff as the senator, when plot has wandered up to me.
Yeah.
It's just like,
it is fun when that happens, though, isn't it?
It's not my plot.
Yeah. It's fun when that happens. I know that it's the most I've ever seen any kind of heralds or magical creatures or monsters within my time at Anvil. Oh my god. After this ritual gets done, right? Speaking of magical creatures, I go back to camp and there's a bleeding great iron golem that's wandering up the track towards the Crimson Reapers camp.
Oh, flipping heck.
You know, the one with the 4 swords?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Or the 4 hands and the 2 swords. Such a cool monster costume. I feel very sorry for the person that's stuck in it. But in front of them...
And walking up the League Hill as well.
And walking up the League Hill. And in front of them are Autumn Heralds because they've got a meeting with someone about something. It's way above my pay grade. I don't really know.
Yeah.
I'm more concentrating on the Iron Golem, who is brought in to bodyguard for these people, and it is so cool. And I was like, I want one. I need one. So now,
how can Claudia get one?
Legitimately, Claudia's entire existence at Anvil now. Get herself a pet Iron Golem. I will.
You're gonna have to sweet talk PD and the skirmish.
Honestly, like it doesn't even have to be a big one. I will happily take a plushy Iron Golem, and I will carry it around with me, and forever, or a crocheted one, or whatever, because those things are so good. And the poor person that was inside that suit had to RP with Millie being incredibly overexcited about the fact that there was a monster costume right in front of her. And I was like, that sword is amazing. Is that sword a part of you? And they're like, yes, it is a part of me. I was like, are you clockwork or are you real? Are you made of flesh and bone or are you made of mechanical things? And they went, I am living. And I was like, oh, excellent. More questions. And I was like, oh God, this poor person. But yeah.
That sounds awesome.
It was so cool. I imagine whatever was going on in the league at that point was also incredibly cool, but I was having a lovely time just mooching around with a monster.
Yeah.
And then I think other than just sort of, I had an early night on Saturday because my Friday night had been a busy one. I hadn't really slept that much, and I was like, I just need my bed. I think I went to bed around like 10 o'clock.
Oh wow, I was about 3:30.
Whoa.
Yeah, I had the longest lay-in I've ever had at a LARP.
What's happening to us?
Because I went to bed so late.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
I spent too much time with Talis and ended up staying out late.
Yeah, I'm napping now. Am I becoming Dave?
Well, you do the editing for the podcast. You do all the Facebook for the podcast. I think you might be.
Oh. Well, I mean, to be fair, like, but yeah. So an early night never hurts anybody.
No. I've done it several times myself, where it's like, I'm done for the night and called it before time in.
Yeah. It was great. I had a lovely time.
Even.
Yeah. And it was really nice again, like when you go to sleep, hearing all of the I really like going to sleep with all of the like people talking around me. And all of the like everybody being really happy and just joyful that you're back in Anvil. I'm like, oh, yes.
Yeah. I need background. It's weird. I have to have I usually put an audiobook on headphones when I go to sleep because I have a thing where I need either white noise or a TV on for me to sleep.
Yeah.
And I find the randomness of people talking around me and the peaks of volume that can happen with that.
Yeah.
Really aren't conducive to my sleeping pattern. So I use either earplugs or wireless earbuds, noise cancelling on, audiobook with a nice level volume through it. That's my method.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good. I think we had good Saturdays.
Yeah. Sunday, I woke up.
Oh, now.
Well, you finished?
I did. It was, but it's not it. We haven't ended the episode, Bungle.
Oh, are we doing a whole different episode for Sunday?
Yeah.
Which
we've been.
Well, yeah, you've probably had a lot of stuff you did.
I mean, not really, but well, I mean, we could talk about Sunday now. Actually, yeah, no, there was a big battle. Let's talk about it another time. It'll be a shorter episode,
okay, no
but we'll
worries.
talk about it another time. I just got to keep them wanting more, Bung. Like, gee.
Oh, yeah. Oh, one more episode. Just one more episode. Guys, don't you worry.
Exactly.
You'll do the battle then. Now, for the rest, until before time out, next episode.
Exactly. What we're going to start doing is, those anime shows where it's 20 minutes, but the first sort of 15 minutes is just two people screaming at each other.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with the internal monologues.
The Dragon Ball Z, or the Dragon Ball Z method, where something that is actually only taking about 5 seconds in real life will spread over 6 seasons.
Yeah, exactly that. So speaking of seasons, thank you so much to everybody that listens to the podcast, comments on our Facebook, talks to us joins in on our Discord. You guys are all amazing. Thank you so much. If you like what you hear, feel free to drop us a follow on either Spotify or Podbean or any podcasting services. You can like us on Facebook, join our Discord, and if you have any spare money lying around, which is not very often nowadays, you can also join our Patreon. What's the word? Not necessary or expected at all. Anything that you can give, it's amazing and just helps us keep running. It is a mighty expensive hobby, is this podcasting malarkey.
Yeah, hosting services are not the cheapest.
Yeah. But thank you so much to every single one who does fork out every month. You guys are all amazing. And in particular, thank you so much, Stefan.
Thank you, Stefan.
Yeah, Stefan's amazing. We love Stefan. So yes, thank you. And hey, Bung.
Yo.
I'll see you in about 5 seconds.
Yeah. I was going to say, have you figured out how we're going to end these?
No, yet? Never. I don't even know. Somebody tell us how we need to end our episodes, please.
Yeah.